It starts quietly, a small discomfort, a tight feeling in your belly, then the bloating, the gas, the burning in your chest, random cramps that come out of nowhere, that heavy, stuck feeling after eating even a simple meal. You brush it off, you drink water, you blame the food, but it keeps coming back again and again. If your stomach is always upset, it's not random, it's a pattern. And most people are making it worse without knowing. What feels like a weak stomach is often a stressed, overworked digestive system sending early warning signals. The truth is, your gut is one of the most intelligent systems in your body. It reacts to how fast you eat. It reacts to stress. It reacts to your sleep, your habits, even your thoughts. And when it starts acting up, it is not trying to ruin your day. It is trying to protect you. In this video, you will learn what is really happening inside your stomach when you feel bloated or heavy. You will understand why eating too fast can create gas even if the food is healthy. You will learn how stress silently shuts down digestion without you noticing. You will discover how your gut bacteria control more than just digestion and how small daily habits slowly damage them. Most importantly, you will learn why antacids and quick fixes often hide the problem instead of solving it. There are lesser known facts that few people talk about. For example, digestion actually begins before the first bite reaches your stomach. It begins in your brain. If your mind is rushed or anxious, your stomach acid changes, your digestive enzymes change. Even the movement of your intestines changes. Another hidden fact is that your gut contains millions of nerve cells. Some scientists even call it the second brain. When this system is constantly irritated by stress, late-night eating, processed food, or irregular meals, it does not fail overnight. It slowly becomes inflamed. It becomes sensitive. It becomes reactive. That is when normal foods start feeling heavy. That is when simple meals cause burning. That is when bloating becomes daily. Many people think strong spice or street food is the only villain, but research shows that chronic stress and rushed eating are just as damaging. Your body switches into survival mode. Blood moves away from digestion. Food sits longer. Fermentation increases. Gas builds up. Pressure rises. You feel uncomfortable and tired. And the cycle repeats the next day. By the end of this video, you will clearly see the pattern behind your symptoms. You will understand why your stomach is not weak, it is overwhelmed. You will see how small, consistent habits can either calm your gut or irritate it daily. This is not about fear, it is about awareness. When you understand what your body is doing, you stop fighting it. You start working with it. And that is when real relief begins. So stay with me until the end, because the final part of this video will reveal one powerful shift that can immediately reduce stress on your stomach starting today. It is simple, it is practical, and almost no one takes it seriously. If you care about your energy, your comfort, and your long-term health, this is information you cannot ignore. Your body whispers before it screams. Right now, it may still be whispering. Welcome to our channel, where we break down complex health topics into simple truths you can actually use. If you want clear, honest explanations that help you take control of your health, make sure you subscribe and join our growing community. Let's begin. Most people think that an upset stomach is caused by one single meal. They blame the greasy street food they had last night, the spicy curry they ordered for dinner, or even call it a weak stomach as if it is some fragile organ that cannot handle normal food. The truth is far more subtle and far more serious. Your gut does not become sick in a single day. It is not a sudden failure that happens after a single bite. What happens is a slow, gradual process, a series of small assaults that accumulate over weeks, months, and sometimes years until your digestive system can no longer cope. Every hurried meal, every bite eaten while distracted, every night you eat late, every sip of soda, every cup of coffee on an empty stomach contributes to this invisible burden. Your body has been sending warning signals all along, signs that are easy to ignore if you are too busy to listen. You may feel bloated after lunch, gassy after a simple breakfast, a dull ache in your stomach after dinner. These are not random events, they are whispers from your digestive system telling you it is overwhelmed, that it is struggling silently, that it needs more care than you are giving it. But people rarely see the pattern. They treat each episode as an isolated event and continue with the same habits, convinced that it is the food that is at fault, not the lifestyle. One of the most common and damaging habits is eating too fast. Digestion begins in the mouth, not the stomach. Chewing is the first step in breaking down food into smaller pieces, mixing it with saliva that contains enzymes designed to start the chemical process of digestion. When you eat too quickly, you skip this critical step. Food enters your stomach in larger, less processed chunks, making the stomach work harder to break it down. This extra strain can lead to bloating, gas, and acid issues because the stomach struggles to process food efficiently. Eating fast is not just a matter of chewing less. It is the signal to your digestive system that you are in a rush, that the body should prioritize speed over efficiency. This creates a chain reaction. The stomach secretes acid at irregular levels. Food sits longer in some parts of the digestive tract, fermenting and producing gas. The intestines become irritated. Your body responds with discomfort. You feel full faster, yet unsatisfied, bloated, and heavy. Your stomach is not a grinder. It is a processor. It is designed to handle food methodically, with time and rhythm. When you disrupt that rhythm, your gut struggles and the discomfort begins to accumulate day after day, silently eroding your comfort and energy. Stress is another hidden but powerful factor that damages digestion. There is a direct connection between the brain and the gut, sometimes called the gut-brain axis. The nerves, hormones, and chemical signals between your brain and your stomach are constant and complex. When you are stressed, anxious, or preoccupied, blood flow is redirected away from the digestive system. The production of stomach acid fluctuates unpredictably. The natural rhythm of your intestines changes, either slowing down or speeding up, which can lead to constipation or diarrhea. This is why eating while distracted or while scrolling on your phone is often worse than you think. Even if the food is perfectly healthy, the act of eating while anxious or in a rush triggers this survival mode, forcing your body to prioritize immediate alertness over proper digestion. The simple act of trying to eat in a hurry while mentally preoccupied undermines the entire digestive process. You cannot digest food in fight mode. Your system was designed to break down nutrients efficiently when it feels safe, calm, and focused. Anything that interrupts that sense of calm can lead to repeated irritation, making you feel heavy, bloated, or uncomfortable long after the meal is over. The balance of gut bacteria is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Your digestive system is home to trillions of microorganisms that play an essential role in breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and maintaining immune health. When this delicate balance is disrupted, the effects ripple through your entire digestive process. Overconsumption of sugar and processed foods fuels harmful bacteria, giving them a chance to multiply and overwhelm the beneficial bacteria that keep your gut healthy. Frequent use of antibiotics kills off not only harmful bacteria but beneficial strains as well, leaving the gut vulnerable to inflammation and irritation. The result is not just minor discomfort. It is a system-wide imbalance that can cause gas, bloating, food sensitivities, and even influence your energy levels and mood. When your gut bacteria suffer, you suffer. You may notice cravings for certain foods, increased fatigue after meals, or unexpected reactions to foods you once tolerated perfectly. It is easy to blame external factors, like one particular meal or restaurant food, but the root problem is far deeper. It is a cumulative effect of the choices you make day after day, meal after meal, snack after snack, habit after habit. The more you ignore these small but constant pressures, the more your gut becomes reactive, inflamed, and sensitive, creating a feedback loop that reinforces discomfort, making it seem like your stomach is always upset without reason. Every meal, every bite, every cup of coffee or soda contributes to a larger picture that most people never see. Fast eating, stress, poor bacterial balance, and repeated irritation combine into a silent storm that builds gradually, overwhelming a system that was once balanced and strong. Each factor alone is manageable, but together they create a digestive environment that is unstable, sensitive, and prone to discomfort. The bloating you feel after a light lunch, the heaviness that follows dinner, the random cramps and gas are all the symptoms of this imbalance. They are not random events or signs of weakness. They are the early stages of a problem that develops over time, giving you repeated warnings that are easy to dismiss but dangerous to ignore. Chewing too quickly, eating under stress, consuming sugar-rich foods, taking antibiotics unnecessarily, skipping meals, eating late at night, relying on antacids as a quick fix, all of these are daily habits that slowly overwhelm your digestive system. Each contributes to irritation and imbalance. Your body reacts by signaling discomfort, but most people fail to see the connection between these daily habits and the chronic symptoms they experience. Every time food sits in the stomach too long, every time beneficial bacteria are reduced, every time stress shuts down digestion, the gut becomes a little weaker, a little more sensitive. Over weeks and months, this creates a recurring pattern of upset stomach, bloating, acid reflux, gas, and other discomforts that are often blamed on external factors or individual bad meals. The reality is that your stomach is not weak and your body is not failing you. It is overwhelmed, sending messages through discomfort and irritation, asking for attention, care, and mindful habits. Even simple, everyday habits that seem harmless can have an outsized impact. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach increases acid, irritating sensitive tissue. Eating late at night disrupts natural digestive rhythms, leaving food to sit and ferment. Overeating stretches the stomach and slows the process of digestion. Relying on painkillers regularly damages the protective lining of the stomach, making it more susceptible to acid, irritation, and inflammation. Fast eating, stress, and poor gut bacteria work quietly in the background, compounding the damage over time, and yet these are often overlooked in favor of blaming one meal, one restaurant, or a perceived weak stomach. The truth is in the pattern. Repeated habits, ignored warning signs, and small daily mistakes slowly accumulate until your gut reaches a tipping point where even normal foods feel heavy, meals cause burning, and bloating becomes constant. The pattern is predictable if you know what to look for, yet invisible to most people because it develops gradually, silently, and almost imperceptibly. When you understand that digestion is a complex, interconnected system involving chewing, enzymes, stomach acid, gut bacteria, blood flow, and neural signals, the importance of pacing, mindful eating, stress management, and diet balance becomes clear. Each meal, each choice either supports the gut or undermines it. Eating too fast disrupts mechanical digestion and chemical signals. Stress interferes with blood flow and neural messaging. Poor gut bacteria balance inflames tissue and alters absorption. And all of these factors together amplify discomfort and create a recurring cycle of symptoms. The more you ignore it, the more intense the symptoms become. This is why simple measures like chewing food slowly, reducing stress while eating, maintaining healthy gut bacteria, and avoiding daily irritants have such a profound effect over time. It is not a quick fix. It is an accumulation of better habits that work with your body instead of against it. Your gut sends messages constantly, using bloating, gas, burning, cramps, heaviness, and irregular bowel movements to communicate with you. Fast eating, stress, and bacterial imbalance distort these signals. They make discomfort worse, make symptoms feel random, and convince people that their stomach is fragile or weak. But the truth is, the stomach is resilient. It is the environment around it that creates strain. By understanding the invisible patterns that develop over time, by paying attention to how habits affect digestion, and by making small, consistent changes, it is possible to reduce discomfort and restore balance. This requires patience, awareness, and willingness to work with your body rather than against it. Every time you rush a meal, every time stress takes over, every time you consume processed foods or sugar, you are adding to the burden. Every time you choose slowly, eat mindfully, and choose foods that nourish your gut, you are lightening the load and giving your digestive system a chance to recover. Digestive health is not determined by one meal or one bad choice. It is determined by patterns that unfold over time, by the accumulation of habits that either support or undermine your gut. Fast eating, stress, and bacterial imbalance are not isolated causes. They are continuous forces that interact with one another, creating a digestive environment that is fragile and reactive. And the more this pattern continues, the more likely it is that ordinary meals will produce discomfort, bloating, gas, or acid reflux, even when the food itself is healthy. Recognizing these patterns, understanding the underlying mechanisms, and adjusting daily habits is the first step toward breaking the cycle and giving your stomach the chance to function as it was designed to do. Every day, most people unknowingly attack their own digestive system, bit by bit, bite by bite, sip by sip. It is rarely one massive error or a single catastrophic meal. Instead, it is the accumulation of countless small choices that slowly irritate the gut until it can no longer keep up. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach is one of the most common offenders. Many believe it is harmless, a simple boost to start the morning, but coffee is acidic, and when it hits an empty stomach, it can irritate the delicate lining, increasing acid levels and provoking burning sensations that many mistake for heartburn or weakness. This irritation is subtle at first, a mild discomfort that comes and goes, but over weeks and months it compounds. Each morning, the stomach lining is exposed to this acid assault, and the digestive system struggles silently to protect itself. The effects are multiplied when combined with other daily habits that seem normal but are quietly harmful. Very spicy foods and fried meals are staples in many diets, and they may taste delicious or give a sense of satisfaction, but they also challenge the stomach with high fat content and chemical irritants. Spices, oils, and fats slow down digestion, leading to food sitting in the stomach longer than it should. This creates pressure, encourages gas, bloating, and can trigger acid reflux. Over time, the stomach becomes hypersensitive. Meals that once felt comfortable now lead to discomfort and heaviness. What seems like a normal craving or indulgence is in reality a repeated irritation that adds stress to an already burdened system. Late night eating is another silent disruptor. The digestive system is designed to rest in alignment with our natural circadian rhythm. Eating late at night forces the stomach to work when it should be resting. Enzymes and digestive acids peak and dip according to the body's internal clock, and when food is introduced during the low phase, digestion is less efficient. Food remains in the stomach longer, fermentation increases, gas builds up, and the next morning you may wake with a feeling of heaviness, bloating, or fatigue. Overeating magnifies these effects. When the stomach is stretched beyond its comfortable capacity, digestion slows further. The pressure triggers discomfort, sometimes nausea, and sends a signal through the nervous system that the digestive tract is overwhelmed. It is not just a physical sensation. Overeating changes hormone signaling, affecting satiety, insulin response, and even gut-brain communication. Your energy drops, you feel sluggish, and the cycle repeats. Painkillers, which many people use daily for headaches, back pain, or minor injuries, are also damaging when taken frequently. Common medications reduce the protective lining of the stomach, making it more vulnerable to acid, irritation, and inflammation. The combination of these habits, coffee on an empty stomach, spicy and fried foods, Late night meals, overeating, and frequent painkillers does not cause one large problem instantly. It is not a sudden collapse. It is a series of small daily attacks, each seemingly minor but collectively overwhelming the gut over time. The stomach is resilient, but even the strongest system can be fatigued when attacked repeatedly in this way. It is important to understand that it is not a single error that causes chronic discomfort. It is these small, repeated actions that slowly destabilize your digestive balance, making normal meals uncomfortable, creating bloating, gas, acid sensations, and the feeling that your stomach is constantly upset. The symptoms often start subtly. You may notice mild bloating that disappears after an hour, or a small burning sensation after a cup of coffee. You might ignore these signals, thinking they are temporary or that they will go away on their own. But over time, these warning signs intensify and become persistent. Constant bloating after meals, a burning feeling in the chest, irregular bowel habits, or unexplained fatigue after eating are all red flags that your digestive system is overwhelmed. They are your body's way of signaling that the cumulative effect of daily habits is taking its toll. It is easy to blame the food, the time of day, or a stressful situation, but when these symptoms occur repeatedly, the problem is no longer external. It is internal, a reflection of how your daily lifestyle choices interact with the complex processes of your gut. Bloating that lingers, burning that recurs, energy dips that follow meals, and irregularity in bowel movements are not signs of a weak stomach. They are signs that your system is overloaded and needs attention. The truth is, the gut is remarkably intelligent and resilient. It does not fail easily. It warns you first, sending signals that are subtle, easy to ignore, but persistent. When these warning signs are present, it is not a signal of weakness. It is a call to action, a chance to adjust habits before the discomfort escalates into chronic issues. Paying attention to these early signals, recognizing patterns and symptoms, and understanding the underlying reasons for discomfort are the first steps toward regaining balance. It is not a single change that heals the gut, but a combination of small mindful adjustments over time. The body responds to these adjustments, often in surprising ways, with improved comfort, better energy, and reduced bloating. It is crucial to acknowledge that the stomach is not your enemy. It is your alarm system, alerting you to imbalance, irritation, and stress in the digestive process. Each pain, each bloated feeling, each burning moment is a message from your body that something needs attention. Even minor changes in daily habits can make a noticeable difference. Starting the day without coffee on an empty stomach, reducing the frequency of late-night meals, moderating spicy or fried foods, eating in smaller portions, and limiting over-the-counter painkillers all contribute to reducing irritation and giving the gut a chance to recover. The benefits are cumulative. Each positive adjustment reinforces the gut's natural processes, supports balanced gut bacteria, improves acid regulation, and restores efficient digestion. Over time, these small changes reduce the intensity and frequency of warning signals. The bloating, burning, fatigue, and irregular bowel habits become less frequent, and digestion starts functioning in a rhythm closer to its natural design. This is why it is important to remain attentive to subtle signals. Fatigue after meals is often ignored as normal tiredness, but it can be a sign that the body is expending extra energy to cope with inefficient digestion. Burning in the chest is often dismissed as minor heartburn, but it may indicate irritation caused by repeated acid exposure. Irregular bowel habits, which many assume are normal fluctuations, can actually reflect inflammation, imbalance in gut bacteria, or slow intestinal motility. Persistent bloating, though commonly shrugged off, is a clear sign that the gut is struggling to process food effectively. Recognizing these signs is not about fear. It is about awareness. It is about understanding that the gut communicates constantly, and discomfort is a signal, not a failure. The emotional impact of chronic digestive discomfort is often underestimated. Feeling bloated, gassy, heavy, or burning after meals affects more than the stomach. It affects confidence, energy, and mood. It creates a constant background of tension, making daily life less comfortable and less enjoyable. The stomach, when ignored, continues to escalate these warnings until the body is forced to react more strongly through inflammation, sensitivity, or other more serious complications. Every time these daily irritations are repeated, the gut is overwhelmed further, and the cycle continues. This is why the shift in perspective is so important. Understanding that the stomach is not weak, that it is not failing, but that it is overwhelmed by daily choices and cumulative stress changes the way you respond. Small adjustments, mindful eating, and awareness of triggers empower the gut to recover gradually. The process of healing does not require dramatic interventions. It begins with paying attention, making minor but consistent changes, and understanding the signals the gut sends. Skipping coffee on an empty stomach, reducing spice and fried food, moderating portions, avoiding late-night meals, and minimizing painkiller use are all actionable steps that reduce irritation immediately. They send a clear message to the body that it can relax, that digestion can proceed efficiently, and that balance is returning. These steps, while simple, are profoundly effective over time. The gut is resilient when given the chance, and it responds positively when the pattern of irritation is interrupted. Even small intentional shifts reinforce the digestive system in ways that are often underestimated. The stomach adjusts to slower, calmer digestion. The intestines recover rhythm and motility. Acid levels stabilize, and beneficial bacteria are supported in regrowth. Symptoms that seemed constant and unavoidable begin to decrease. Bloating, burning, gas, and fatigue become less frequent. The gut is no longer a source of frustration, but becomes a system you can work with. Each meal, each mindful choice becomes an opportunity to reinforce balance rather than contribute to irritation. The stomach is not your enemy. It is an alarm system. It signals imbalance, stress, and irritation. By paying attention, acting early, and making simple adjustments, you can prevent these warnings from escalating and restore comfort, energy, and digestive health. Even subtle, overlooked behaviors contribute to irritation. Drinking water immediately after every bite, eating too quickly, eating while distracted or anxious, consuming excessive sugar, and skipping balanced meals all add to cumulative stress on the gut. Each of these may seem harmless individually, but together they create the environment for chronic discomfort. When these behaviors are adjusted, the impact is immediate and long-lasting. The body begins to respond in ways that are noticeable, energy improves, bloating decreases, digestion becomes smoother, and overall comfort is restored. This is why paying attention to early warning signs matters so much. It is not about fear or overreacting to minor symptoms. It is about observing patterns, understanding the cumulative impact of daily habits, and taking small, consistent steps toward balance. The gut is incredibly adaptive, and when given the right support, it restores rhythm and function naturally. The bloating, burning, fatigue, and irregular bowel habits that once seemed unavoidable begin to fade. Meals feel lighter. Energy returns, comfort improves. The stomach communicates less urgently because the overload is relieved. This is the power of understanding daily irritations, recognizing warning signs, and acting before problems escalate. If this video helped you understand why your stomach is always upset, don't let it stop here. Hit the like button to support the channel, subscribe so you never miss tips that actually improve your health, and share this with someone who always says, "My stomach is always bad." Your gut is trying to tell you something. Listen to it. Pay attention. Make small changes today before it starts screaming tomorrow. Every tip, every habit, every choice counts, and your body will thank you for it. Stay tuned because in our next video, we'll reveal simple daily habits that reset your gut naturally and keep you feeling lighter, calmer, and healthier.